Hi VC, yeah, I'm back again this afternoon with a vinyl watch this time. Just straight off some stuff I picked up. Um, Good grief, was this about a month ago? I'm so behind. I'm always behind with my vinyl purchases. It's just because I can never resist picking up albums that I think are good, not just any old tat for a quid, or buying stuff off of eBay if you see like a good batch of them, which is what happened here. So I've got the first few records I picked up, first five records I picked up for a quid, and then the last batch are a vinyl Wodge that I picked up from one seller for, I posted on top, but the records cost a fiver, so good haul. Right, first off, Glitter Bands, Greatest Hits. I had to buy this when I saw it. It's got some really good. They sort of straddled that glam. Sort of, they started having hits on their own, right towards the end of glam, really. So you got things like Angel Face. What else was on there? I think Love in the Sun, wasn't it? So some of this is good old glitter stomp. But then as the 70s wore on, they started getting a wee bit on the side. So some of these songs really aren't worth repeating, but it's worth having just for the glam stuff. And it's in immaculate shape. Obviously somebody really loved this album, so much so they didn't really play it, because the vinyl is in fantastic shape as well. Obviously sat in somebody's collection. But love that. We'll love some of the songs on it. Other songs, yeah, I think we'll leave them well alone. Right. Also got this. We're kind of in MOR territory for a lot of today's music. Sort of very middle of the road, some of this, but very enjoyable nonetheless. Right, we've got Elkie Brooks, Pearls. I actually picked a copy of this up on tape the other day. Well, about a couple of weeks before this, because I'd always wondered what this sounded like. I got the tape for 50p. I picked this up for a quid, so for a grand total of £1.50, I've got 2 copies of this now. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but there's some good songs on here. Sort of, now that I'm older, I quite like listening to stuff like this, because on family holidays, a lot of the time in the car when we were driving anywhere, a lot of the time it would be Radio 2 that was on, especially because we used to drive down to Cornwall very late at night to try and avoid traffic, and Radio 1 used to shut off about, after Peel, my parents would never listen to John Peel anyway, but after Peel finished, usually Radio 1 shut off, and I think it's quite early on, maybe 10, 11 o'clock or something like that, and we used to travel very late, so we all usually had Radio 2 on, and they would play lots of this sort of stuff, and at the time I couldn't stand, I just wasn't into it. Even then I wasn't into it, but it kind of brings back kind of a nice nostalgic feel now. So she's done a cover of Superstar by the Carpenters, which is okay. Much prefer the Sonic Youth version. Fool If You Think It's Over, I remember that. An okay version of Lilac Wine. Sorry, but Jeff Buckley rules the roost there. Pearl's a Singer. Great, yeah, absolutely spot on. And actually a version of If You Leave Me Now that I can live with, because I really don't like that Chicago song. In fact, I really don't like Chicago, that late period Chicago, very much at all. But anyway, this is worth a listen. This one I bought just for the cover, and I actually like's a bit strong, but I quite like the music. I bought it just for the cover because I thought the cover was amazing. This is Just Today. More today than yesterday. What's that say? More today than yesterday, less today than tomorrow. So I don't know who came up with that album title, but for a Bobby V album, oh come on. This is Bobby V, famous for, I think, didn't he do Rubber Ball and stuff like that in the late 50s? He was still making music in the... This is released, I think, in 68. And as far as I'm aware, it's an original copy. I think this was released in 68. But it's that kind of MOR stuff, that kind of easy listening stuff. I mean, he does a medley of My Girl and Hey Girl. He does, what else does he do on here? Sealed with a Kiss, Tiffany Rings. But it's just, you see, this is the kind of stuff that I can just put on, like Sunday afternoon, this kind of time when you're just chilling out, maybe Sunday morning when you're just waking up. You need something that's not too jarring. I mean, music suits, you know, that's the beauty of music. There's so much of it around it suits your mood whenever you're, whenever they or whatever they take you. And I've played this a couple of times and I've thoroughly enjoyed it each time. Not the greatest album in the world, but then not every album is. Anyway, so smashing. Really happy I picked that one up, actually. You'll wait for the next one. The UK people in this, in the BC, will be going, what? This is the second album I've got by this lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've moved to the West Country and I just really like this lot. It's the Wurzels. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just like them. They just make me smile. They make me smile. I mean, I can still hear so many people who talk like this lot down here. I mean, I live in Devon, but I cross the border into Somerset quite a lot, and Dorset. It's all kind of farm country down here. And it's just fantastic stuff. I just love it. You know, you got Somerset Born and Proud, Keep Your Hand on Your Halfpenny, and Combine Harvest is on there, of course. Down in Nempnet Thrubwell, My Somerset Crumpet Horn. So, I'm not going to say too much more about it. It's silly, it's stupid. It's a sort of like the Southwest version of Chas and Dave, but I've got a Chas and Dave album as well, which I do occasionally play. Anyway, right, Wurzels. I also picked this one up. This was a complete blind buy. I just like the cover, to be honest. This is Tom T. Hall Country Classics. I just like the picture of the old Western town on the cover. Special price. Actually, this is really good. What I didn't realise was that Tom T. Hall was a pretty successful writer. I think he's in the Country Hall of Fame or Nashville Hall of Fame or whatever it is. I'm sure Headley would be able to fill in the gaps. He's my go-to guru on all things country. Amazing channel he's got. Watch it. And he had hit loads of top 10 country hits in the States in the 70s. A lot of number ones. Things like The Year That Clanton Delaney Died, which is a great song. Old Dog's Children and Watermelon Wine. Another great song, actually. Monkey That Became President. That's funny. Because we've got one in the White House at the moment. And just some really good songs. Good songwriting on here. And really pleased. Really pleasantly surprised by that. Didn't know what to expect. There's a picture of the chap himself. Fantastic. Right. So that's a charity shop buys. And then these are all albums that I picked up. So we'll do that one first. We'll do those two. Yeah. So these are all albums I picked up in one batch from a seller. Put in an offer of a £5 for them all and got accepted. Some of them I wanted more than others. There was 4 of them that I really wanted, and the others came as a sort of a make weight. Well, it might have been weight, but some of them are really good. Right, this one, Truly Irish by the Almond Folk. Now, this is a sort of album that I would see in charity shops all the time and just pass over because I think it'd be some sort of absolute, you know, that kind of Irish music where they all wear silk shirts and you know, that kind of Irish folk. But this is really good. This is a 4-piece band, 2 women and 2 men, called the Almond Folk. They did morph into another band, Brogue. I think they morphed into Brogue after this. But this was recorded at a hotel in about the turn of the 70s, I think about 1970s, maybe 71. But it's just complete Irish folk, real solid Irish folk. Great traditional songs, played with just guitar, banjo, maybe some drums. But a lot of songs sort of. Now, I used to go to Iron quite a lot, and you hear this kind of stuff in bars all over the place, apart from all the Waterboys covers that seem to be going on at the time. But you've got Lowlands of Holland on here, Kitty McGee's on here, what's McCarthy's Party, I recognise that, Riley's Daughter, and other Beggar Man, and other stuff, but it's really good. If you see a copy of this in your local thrift store, charity shop, wherever, don't pass it up, because it's actually surprisingly good, this. Great stuff. Unfortunately, well, some of it's good, some of it's really not good, is this one. Pick this, got this. This is Shades of Folk. It's a 4-artist compilation album on Contour Records, on those budget labels from the 70s. So what you do is you get 4 songs from, well, you can see, 4 songs from the Spinners, 4 from the Corries, 4 from Judy Felix, 4 from Martin Carthy. If I ever hear another version of Wimmelway, I'm going to block my ears up. Especially an audience participation version of Wimmelway. Oh, God. Right, so that's the Spinners did that. They actually did a good track called Manchester Ramblers, the first track. And then they do a traditional thing called John Peel Live, which is actually not bad. The Corries, they're worth further investigation. Did Wild Rover, a fairly decent one. Really good version of Lord of the Dance. I remember singing that when I was at primary school. But a really good version of it. I really enjoyed that. And then you got Shamrock and the Thistle. Then you got Judy Felix, which I will never, ever, ever, ever listen to again. Ugh. I mean, it's got Going to the Zoo on here. That song is puerile. Even for a kid's song, that's puerile. Please. Anyway, Judy Felix, who's best known for being part of the Frost Report, and That Was the Week That Was in the 60s. But really, no. And then you got 3 tracks by Martin Carthy, and they knocked my socks off. Oh my goodness me, I've got to find some Martin Carthy. I don't care whether it's on CD, wherever it is. But these, they are just absolutely phenomenal. Oh my life, they're the first Martin Carthy tracks I've ever heard. And obviously I've heard his name. But it's fantastic. He does a song called High Germany, which is an anti-war song. Then he does a beautiful version of Scarborough Fair with just him and an acoustic. And then he does Lowlands of Holland. But all 3 are just fantastic performances. I have to get some Martin Carthy. I've got to look out for some of that. Probably, I haven't looked on eBay or Discogs. They're probably really expensive. I'm going to have to get something, because I was astounded. Absolutely brilliant. Right, next up are these next couple. Please, Headley, I reckon. Next couple. Now, Headley did a video where he showed a lot of albums by one artist, and I was really intrigued. Particular Western swing artist, and that artist is Bob Wills. So I saw this. This is one of the reasons why I picked up this batch, because I saw there was this. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, these are all... I'm going to get my glasses, because I put them down here somewhere. Did I? No, I've lost them. Oh, magnificent. Well, I can't tell you exactly. There's lots of liner notes on this, which is really good. And I think these are all early tracks. I think these are all early... Oh, look, if I hold it that far away, I can actually see it. Tells you who plays what on there. And I think they're all pretty early takes, sort of recorded in the 1940s. Is that early for Bob Wills? I don't know. Maybe 30s would be early for him. I don't know. 30s and 40s. So it's a compilation of performances he did during the 30s and the 40s. Might well have been taken off 78s as well. A couple of alternate takes. But really, really, really fantastic stuff. Absolutely, you should check. As Hadley said, you should check this out. Try and get the glare off Bob Wills. And this album is called, I think it's called Bob Wills, isn't it? Oh, CBS Historic Edition, that's what the album's called. But, yeah, Western Swing. I didn't really understand what Western Swing meant until I heard this. Because I think this is the first Western Swing I've really heard properly from original Western Swing. I've got an Asleep at the Wheel album, which is totally Western Swing. But it's kind of mixed up genres, but this is pure Western Swing, and I really enjoyed listening to this. It's fantastic, so I'm going to look out for more of his stuff. And came along in the same batch was this one, which is Sons of the Pioneers. Cowboy songs. Now this was a band that was put together by, is it them? No, where is he? Three. I'm not sure which one he is. 1, 2, 3. 2. Which I think is it him? I'm not that cool. Right, I think it was him. Roy Rogers. You know, the cowboy actor. Before he became a film star, or a big film star, he put together this band called Sons of the Pioneers. Oh, there's a better picture. What an idiot. And look, there's Roy Rogers. Much better picture of it. And this is a compilation of stuff that was recorded, I think, sort of around December 1937, just before Roy Rogers left them to pursue his Hollywood career. And brilliant stuff again. Absolutely magnificent stuff. I mean, a year ago, if you said to me, right, listen to this, you'll absolutely love it, I'd be gobsmacked, to be honest. But now that I've had my ears opened a bit, and I'm not like, you know, I don't hear a twang of a country guitar and go, ooh, and run away in horror, I'm finding more and more really good stuff, and this includes this. Just some brilliant songs. Things like When the Golden Train Comes Down, Hold That Critter Down, Son of the Bandit, The Devil's Great Grandson. Just great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. And then also in that batch was a really good compilation, 80s compilation on Cascade, budget label who seems to specialise in doing sort of blues and country and doo-wop, 50s and 60s music. This is 20 great country recordings of the 50s and 60s Volume 2. Now, most of these artists I have never heard of before, but it's kind of, it's not quite rockabilly, is that hillbilly? I don't know, but it's kind of more rocky sort of 50s and 60s country. It's definitely not sort of that twangy stuff. It's more, what do I mean by twangy stuff? The kind of more produced stuff from the 50s and 60s. It's much more rocky, bit rawer than that. So you've got people like Clay Baker doing Texas Honky Tonk, which is brilliant. Benny Barnes, Joe Carson, that's good. Link Davis, Sadie and Bobby, Sonny Burns. You've got people, there's a couple of Willie Nelson tracks on here, really early ones, Nightlife and The Storm Has Just Begun. They're both cracking tracks. Cecil Bowman's on here. There's a George Jones, early George Jones track on here. Love's Gonna Live Here. Excellent stuff. Johnny Dollar. Oh, there's another one, The Race Is On. That's a good one by George Jones. But I'm definitely going to look out for Volume 1 now, because this is a great compilation of stuff. In fact, I might put that on in a minute after I finish recording this. And then the other main reason that I got this batch of albums was because of Vinyl Richie and a couple of albums he highlighted on his channel. I thought, I'm going to check these out. And they were part of this batch that I put together from this guy. First one is, I think this was the first one. Right, so we got Art Garfunkel watermark. Now I've got to get this right. One of these is better than the other one, or I enjoyed it more. I think I enjoyed the other one more, to be honest. This, I mean, he's got a great voice, but to be honest, the material is a little bit on the... It doesn't float my boat as much as I thought it might do, but maybe I will give them time, because, I mean, these were dirt cheap anyway, so I'll give them another chance. But there's really good songs on here. You've got things like, he's got a decent cover of Wonderful World, it's alright. Shine It On Me, good. Marionette. So I'm going to give it another go. But I thought the next one was a stronger album, to be honest. I don't know whether Richie would agree, I don't know. But this is Breakaway that I got as well. On here he does a really good cover, I think, of Believe When I Fall In Love, It Will Be Forever. That originally done by Stevie Wonder. There's a good track called Ragdoll. Waters and Marsh is quite good. And in here it's got the reunion track that Simon and Garfunkel did called My Little Town. I Only Have Eyes For You, which was a UK #1. So I think this is probably the stronger album. But I'm definitely going to listen to both of them again. But yeah, he's got a gorgeous voice. But then Simon and Garfunkel, of course he's going to have a good voice. Alright, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Quite a batch of, I think, 12 albums or so there. My videos are getting longer again. I'm whittering. So I have to see what I can do about that. Maybe shrink the number of records I put on each video. I don't know, but I've still got a stupid number up there. Anyway, so thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you all again soon. Cheers, VC. Bye.